All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are going to do an AI sector review looking at NVIDIA, Palantir, AI, and SoundHound, okay? I do that in order. I kind of basically have that as the hierarchy of this AI sector, okay? Clearly, there are a couple other ones that I haven't talked about in a while. Guard Force, Big Bear, and Bullfrog. Truth be told, I actually don't even know what those look like, all right? But I sincerely believe that NVIDIA needs to do well for Palantir to do well. Palantir needs to do well for C3 AI to do well. C3 AI needs to do well for SoundHound to do well. There's clearly no camera on my face, but I was like doing a hand gesture going down. So that made me laugh a little bit, okay? Across all of these, I'm going to talk about the NASDAQ, okay? Because remember, I always say it, no single tech stock, including the juggernaut that is NVIDIA, no single tech stock is bigger than the NASDAQ itself, okay? And NASDAQ's doing a little bit worse than I actually expected. I'm not screaming like crash or any fear stuff, like I'm not, all right? But yeah, the reality is it is doing a little bit worse, and it kind of makes sense why a lot of these are starting to do a little worse, all right? So all that said, before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do, I'm telling you, helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, all right? But just being here, giving me your time, having good conversations, oh man, how much more can a guy ask for, right? So let's get into it. And look, NVIDIA, I will be very honest, I did not expect this thing to lose the 50. All right, I kind of thought it would have bounced back and gone back up. And one more time, I did not expect this, as you can see, to lose the 50 again. And end of the day, I think I don't even think, I don't want to say I know, but I genuinely think this is why. All right, so there's a couple things I'm gonna call out. All right, again, I really would love to cover the major markets more. I just don't get very many views, but I have been sprinkling these on these tech ones especially, all right? But the NASDAQ, again, NASDAQ composite, I did not think we were going to lose the 50 moving average. I really didn't. I thought, okay, we would at least bounce back, maybe come to the 20, and then, hey, on the second one, maybe we'll lose it, but not this first one. The next thing I said, and I'm going to delete this line after this video, but I didn't think we were going to lose this. I don't make very many new lines, okay? These lines have been the lines that I've had on this video pretty much since June when I started in 22, all right? I drew this and I actually said, I don't think we're going to lose this line. Okay, again, you know I don't like to get cocky, but this one I like kind of impressed myself. My line was 13,469. This day closes at 13,476. I missed it by $5. I'm not gonna lie, that made me laugh a little bit, okay? But again, I thought we would come to this golden line that I drew and bounce back up. Dude, we didn't. We like actually very quickly confirmed. No, there was a little bit of a fake out where it like actually opened up here. Nah, it was nothing and it came down, right? So this really bad NASDAQ chart, this chart that's now coming to the 100, right? If this is happening, man, there's only so much that can happen. Sorry. NVDA. There's only so much that can happen with a stock like this. And it's actually been trying to do a little better, right? You can clearly see it. It went down. It had a better update than NASDAQ itself did. But now the realities of the market seem to be affecting this thing. And, you know, my next line down is here. I think the fact that we tried to do this and quickly came, like, it seems like this might be a hard fall. Because look, I'm going to delete this line really quickly. All right, I am going to delete this. But look, in this between here and here, that's called the channel. Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 whole mess of nothing, red, 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 green, 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 green. I really can see a fast drop down to that 404 line that I just deleted, basically the bottom of this, okay? Hopefully that 404 catches it. Otherwise, yeah, we're coming here and here, and pretty soon I'm going to delete one of these because it looks like that's where the 100 moving average is going to be coming up. And I always say I have more emphasis on these lines than my lines. However, once we break them, all I can do is draw my lines, right? So, but yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Just look at this thing before. First off, I am not here to justify whether this thing like deserved to go up this much or not. All right, like that's irrelevant of anything that I'm here to talk about. This thing rode the moving averages like a champion because NVIDIA is a champion. All right. From there, look, the entire time, we never even like drop a hair of a wick on it, right? We seemingly are losing this quickly, and I think that adds a little bit of fear that we're gonna come to the 100, okay? The one true opinion, I'm gonna say it, I very well might be wrong, right? I don't think we're gonna gap down to here. Okay, I think it's boldly aggressive to think we're gonna gap down to 316. Okay, because obviously that's a hole right there, right? Like when I say if we lose this 378, theoretically it's a very fast fall down to here. Basically the same comments I just said about that 4 line, right? Because there isn't even a green red, like there's just nothing, right? That said, I think it's very heavily going to be on NASDAQ, okay? If this thing violently loses the 100, oh man, that could be really bad. It really could, okay? Because that's just green, 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 red, red. That said, I think this is too low on RSI, and we should see a bounce on that 100. Now, do I think it's going to get me all the way back over all the moving averages and fly like it did? I don't think so. But I think I'm actually not going to delete this line. I realized I didn't, and I don't think I will. I think we'll get back to this 13.4. I think we will see a little recovery. Otherwise, oh, sweet Jesus, if we lose 1300 flat, let's just call it, because you can see the average 100 is 1371. 71 is irrelevant, right? If we lose 1350, 1300, oh, that's going to be a fast drop. All right. So I think that's going to be our like, oh no, 9 for NASDAQ. And that's where, you know, I still like, yeah, I don't think we'll fill the whole gap down, even if that happens. I think the 100 should hold, but again, I might be real wrong. We'll see. We'll see. NVIDIA's MACD is now in the negative. Damn. NVIDIA is now down to the 30. NVIDIA, I can't imagine, goes much lower than 30. Oh, wow, it does. It hits 20-something right here. Hits 20. It's 16 right here. What? Wow. Ooh. Let's see what happens here. Again, it's all going to be dictated on the NASDAQ. Please remember that, all right? All right, PLTR. Look, again, the way I have the hierarchy is obviously NASDAQ's on top. There's nothing, there's no single tech stock bigger than NASDAQ. It is then NVIDIA, and it is next Palantir. I think, again, some people fast forward, so let me just show it, right? NVIDIA is holding the 50 just a little bit better than that Palantir chart I haven't really talked about, but hopefully you saw before I said it, right? Like, it's unfortunately, yes, like that's a bad way to lose it. Doji doesn't count. Oh man, it tries to not confirm. It tries to not confirm. It does its best to get all the way to the 8 and hopefully go up. No. It goes down, and to me that signals we're coming down to this 12 something. Oops, don't click that. If not, basically, what's this line at? Basically a 13 flat, right? This thing's at 1304. You can see it in the box over there. And sorry, zoomed in too much. It doesn't seem like it's going up as much as it was. It now kind of seems like it might be getting ready to flatten out at basically 13. But yeah, I think 13 is very realistic, and I don't even have to zoom out that much to see it. This was at a 9 RSI, an 8 RSI. This lived in single digits for a couple days actually. So I know that seems really low, but I'm seeing a MACD that has already slipped into the negative. Again, we saw it, right? NVIDIA doing its best to do just a little better. It's just a little higher, and it's trying not to like go down. It's trying to stay parallel. Yeah, PLTR I think is just indicative of what NVIDIA is about to do. You know what I mean? So again, I can see us coming to basically 13. There is nothing but green, 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 basically to here, right? And that's already where the 200 is. So very worst case would be coming down all the way to 1030. Truth be told, I don't think we'll lose 1030. I don't think I do. Maybe I'm a little too optimistic. Obviously we'll talk about it again if we start getting that close, right? I would start to get really, really, really scared at 1180 or 12. Basically, I think even 12. That's 1199, right? You can see it again. We open at 1196 actually, but I think once you start getting into 12, 1175, oh, that's a scary, scary number on Palantir. But again, death cross, looks like that might be death cross. Like bad things, great things happen over the 8 and the 20. Bad things happen under it. And don't forget, this thing was under the 8 and the 20 before. All right, I know it's super, super easy to remember only this, but I still remember a stock that was going very horizontal and I wasn't sure if it was going to drop. Good thing it had great earnings, right? But kind of the same comments I said with NVIDIA, but just kind of in a different way, obviously. But I don't think NVIDIA was going to gap down to the earnings. I don't think Palantir will gap down here. Obviously, again, I still don't think we're even going to go below 10, right? But we'll talk about all that the next time we get here, okay? Nice. There's two good moving averages there. There's another one right there at 10. I think all of those kind of confirm things that I said. However, it seems like we might be having some bad weeks ahead of us. That's not looking good. That's not looking good. That's starting to scare me a little bit. So just be careful on the weekly. But again, there are things that say it should not go any lower than 10. But from 14 down to 10 could hurt some people. If you're long and strong, hey, those are average up numbers for me, right? So just keep that in mind. But that was Palantir. Again, number 3 on the chart, and you can see it. This thing is getting progressively worse, right? So again, some people fast forward. I'm really sorry if this is the third time you're hearing it, but the hierarchy is NASDAQ is on top, NVIDIA is second, Palantir is third, AI, C3 AI is fourth, okay? And you can see it. Again, I'm just sorry again if this is repetitive. NVDA, holding the 50 the best. Next, we come to Palantir, losing the 50 a little, but definitely nowhere near this just yet, but it kind of seems like we're going to go there, right? AI might be indicative of what Palantir is about to do, which is what might be indicative of what, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm seeing here, right? This is now a little deeper into the negative MACD. This is definitely a little bit worse of an RSI. This is now lost all interest. Like that's, I think, what surprises me the most. Like this has been consistently under the 50 moving average. I don't think Palantir was that, right? Yeah, I guess it was a little bit, but not as consistent. Like AI, this is looking rough. This actually just, ooh, excuse me, a little bit of a hiccup. This seems like we're dropping to 24. It really does. I think there's like, we lose the 8, go to the 20. Like when I say break this and go, like the same rules apply as we go down. We have now lost this. We're seeming to come to this. We've now lost this. I guess technically we haven't confirmed, but yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I think in my head it's confirmed. I actually did just say maybe the NASDAQ will bounce a little bit. So hey, maybe the things that I was saying will recover. Because again, just in case you fast forward, and I don't think I said that during the Palantir part, but hopefully we can hold the 100 because the RSI is pretty low here for the NASDAQ especially. Hopefully that gives us a little bounce and hey, maybe that does something. But again, I just don't see us coming there and flying anymore. I see us hopefully getting to 33 and then kind of failing in all honesty. But again, I think the hierarchy is speaking for itself as these moving averages are doing what these moving averages do, right? They either fly together or die together, especially within a sector, right? So again, like I said, this technically is not confirmation that it's lost it. Yes, we lost it one day. That's not, I mean, again, we didn't quite get over 50%. Like, I'm not excited seeing this. I'm telling you, right? So unless NASDAQ does that bounce up, man, this is rough. Just all bad, 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 under too many moving averages, seeming like we want to come down here. You know what I mean? That's essentially what I'm seeing here. That's a scary weekly because we're now under the 8 and seemingly under the 20. All signs kind of pointing to come to 23 because these two seem like they want to like make a little meet point right about there, right? So okay, again, I'm going to zoom out and SOUN. What's SOUN going to look like? Again, the hierarchy seems to be making sense, right? The first one, again, I feel like this is the fourth time people are going to hear this and now they're going to start getting annoyed. And I swear I'm so sorry, but a lot of people do fast forward, okay? The hierarchy on my AI stocks is NASDAQ, NVIDIA, PLTR, AI, and this one, SOUN, okay? So when you look at NVIDIA, NVIDIA is holding the 50. When you look at Palantir, it's lost the 50, but it's above the 100. When you look at AI, it's now lost the 100 and seemingly want to come to the 200. When we look at the stock we're about to talk about, we're under all five. We are, okay? And yeah, we are still, as of this day, because we close at 216. The 8 average is at 217. You can see it in the box over there on the left. We are a penny lower. You can physically see the green line over that one right there as well, right? So I think the hierarchy speaks for itself. It really, really does, okay? So if you only have money in SoundHound, it's important to look at the other ones and all the way up. And no matter what, you gotta look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, like I said, I didn't expect it to do as bad as it did. All right, I am for sure not pretending that at all. Like, I thought NASDAQ would hold this. Oh, my wife's making bacon. Damn, I can smell that. I got to finish this up. I'm surprised. I'm surprised we are down this low. I'm surprised we're below that golden line. I think a lot of you are surprised that we're not flying after what seemed like good earnings, right? But it goes back to what I just keep saying. There is no single tech stock better than NASDAQ, and NASDAQ's hurting. Now is not a good time to drop good earnings. You know what I mean? And I actually never even talked about the NVIDIA earnings coming up next week when I was talking about NVIDIA. But like, man, I don't even know it. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. You know, maybe if that does something good, maybe it'll lift NASDAQ a little bit. But like, I think there's more to be worried than like, and hey, you know, I love the AI stocks. It's just, simply don't like them now. You know what I mean? Is what it is. We'll look at the weekly really quick. Yeah, weekly's under all the moving. Like there's more things to be worried about than anything. Hopefully NASDAQ recovers. The last thing we want to do is see a really scary drop down to like, oh, we already hit 180 here. Yeah, if we lose 180, it's going to be a quick drop. So be careful, really be careful. And again, watch the hierarchy. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you.